Alright, so this is just a draft idea that I have right now. Because we're in Thursday and that is one day before NFP, I am not trying to push things. Okay, and I understand that we have 8:30 news later on. Best case scenario, I am going to try to utilize that news to get my objective, which means the news is going to exit my position. If I have, or if I'm given the chance to open a position during London. That is my aim for today. Because yesterday we have quite a wonky price action. If you take a look at the 15 minutes, we have this accumulation here and then this huge expansion here and then continuation higher. We didn't really have much of what do you call it, entering opportunities except for this last hour over here in the breaker. Okay, so what I'm anticipating for later on in London would be below midnight opening price, because we have the daily opening right here. I don't think it's going to trade below the daily opening because of the time that we are in. We're in Thursday and tomorrow is NFP. NFP is most probably going to be attacking this highs right here. Okay, this is my bias heading into Friday. On the daily time frame, you can see that I've annotated the implied fair value gap right here. So we are trading way above it and even exceeding this fair value gap. So I think this fair value gap has turned low probability, and in turn it's going to support the price, if possible, tomorrow into higher prices. Okay, at about 5 more minutes we are going to have this candle close. All right, and we are going to have the midnight opening price. So it would be best if this candle can close above this swing high here. This is what I would be watching for, and if it is able to do so on the 4 hours time frame, I am going to anticipate a retracement into this order block here for my entry into higher prices. And the nearest draw on liquidity, the low hanging fruit, would be this swing high here and this high here, right? Because on the lower time frames they are relatively equal. I'm going to use these highs as my draw on liquidity for today, and obviously if it can attack it during London prior to 8:30, okay, I think it is very possible that 8:30 would run out this high here. That is just my thought, okay, and my opinion, right? So on the lower time frames we have 1 hour BC here, and this 1 hour BC was formed after taking out this swing low. So I think this is a high probability BC, and it's also in the vicinity of that daily implied fair value gap. Makes sense here. At the same time, it's within this 4 hour order block. Can it trade down into this wick here? To me, right, personally, if the 6 hours is going to close above this swing high, I don't think it's going to trade down here. But let's just say in an event whereby the 6 hours candle does not close above this swing high, then I think it's reasonable to think that it's going to trade down there, because wicks are gaps and this is a long wick. (25 to 50% of the wick is tradable, right? price can return back into that level. And if you take a look at the 4 hours, we have an implied fair value gap there as well. Okay, so right here, let me just mark it out. This level here is your implied fair value gap, right? So because this candle was the candle that took out this swing high, and beside this candle there wasn't any gaps formed, but we have long wicks. So 50% of this, both of these wicks would add up and form the the implied fair value gap. So price can definitely come down into this level if we don't have a closing price above this swing high. That is just my opinion, and we shall see if it plays out. Okay, within that level, to be honest with you, I would not like the market structure if it ever comes down into this implied fair value gap, because it means that we are most probably going to be accumulating for NFP to burst this highs here. That is just my thoughts. Okay, let me see the projections. Yep, so it's very much doable here. 2 to 2.5, we have yet closed above. Okay, let's see. Let's take a look at weekly open. I am treating Tuesday as manipulation, and then NFP could send the price up here. If that's the case, if NFP is going to send the price up here, then we need to take out these highs by today. All right, that is what I am thinking here, because I am treating this opening price to the low as manipulation on the weekly time frame, and if that is going to happen, we are really going to have a really large expansion here. Okay, right, so let's take a look at the 6 hours since we have the closing right now. Right, so we do in fact close above this high here. Right, so therefore I'm going to stick to my plan. Okay, within this order block here, let's remove the we have the 1 hour busy, 30 minutes. Invalidation would be this swing low here. Now I'm looking for a swing low within this busy. Let's see if I can find one. Wow, there's no swing lows here. Not even on the 5 minutes. Okay, it's getting way out of hand here. Anyways, let me zoom out. Take a look at the left. Right, so within this range, this was the this was the last swing high that sent the low here, which means the most energetic price run. So I'm going to use this as my entry. Right here. Okay, I'm going to remove this. It would be slightly below the daily CB, right? Let me take a look at the risk to reward here. I'm going to be entering on the high of this inversion, and my stops would be here. This is Asia, quite an expansion here. Right, so this, and then I'll be aiming for minimum these highs here. I think once we trade above this high, the new week opening gap is most likely going to act as support for higher prices. Okay, that would be 3R, not reasonable, with a potential of 6R, right? So multiples of 2, right? So let's just say this is 34 points, right? It's kind of hard here because the points are quite a lot. I can't build up a lot of contracts here. So 34, 1% of 50k, that's going to be 500. Let's do something below 1%. Multiply by 20, that's one contract. One contract is already over 5%. Then I have to go for micros. 8, 34 multiply by 8 times 2, 16. 8 contracts, that's over. That means maybe 5 multiply by 10. I can go slightly higher. Even number 6, 6 times 2, 12. I think this is okay. So I am risking 400 for 3R, that would be 1002 to possibly 6R. 6R would be multiplied by 6. Alright, I'm not too bad. Okay, I'm gonna take this trade here, and I want it to be filled by London because I want the 8:30 news to be my exit. Okay, not 8:30 news and it trades down here. No, I don't want that. Okay, let's see. Right, so if everything is aligned, yep, that's how I'm going to play today. Right, so if I do not get the fill by 6 o'clock in the morning New York time, then I would have to re-evaluate the market structure and decide if I want to keep my orders open until 8:30. Okay, right, so there's two possibilities for 8:30. It's either it expands away or it manipulates lower and expands away during the AM session. So that's what I'm anticipating and that's what I'm looking forward to. And with this, I will end this video here.